How Biden hurt retirees in a warning for the Trumpster. This isn't good, my friends. Finnegan, I'm telling you, this is the reason why Trump won. Nothing. I mean, this is it. Number one reason. I'm going to show you here real quick, and he's got to get on this stand. He's got to get on this like white on rice. It's from EBRI, Employee Benefits Research Institute. It's their 2024 Spending in Retirement Survey. All right. They interviewed 3,600 people between the ages of 62 and 75. So obviously not all retirees. That anyone over 76 was not surveyed. So take that for the grain of salt. But what we find here is 68% of retirees report having credit card debt. All right. Now that in of itself, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it means something. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is, in of itself, just because you report having credit card debt, it could be $10, it could be $1,000 million. We don't know. At least in this press release here. And IRAs were noted as being a current income source for 20% of retirees, while 401ks were being a current income source for 17%. So this is interesting. The median share of income generated by these accounts was 10% from IRAs and 15% for 401ks. So very interesting. So what that's saying is people are only using their IRAs or 401ks for basically 1/10 of 1/8 of their income. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, like to hear that. So I mean, they're not being exhausted necessarily. But check this out. Continuing this shift observed in 2022, 31% of retirees said their spending is much higher or a little higher than they can afford in 2024, which is up from 17% in 2020. Are you hearing that, amigos? So we take, hi, okay, there he is. So we're up from 17% divided by 17. That is a 82.4% increase in the amount of retirees who said their spending is much higher or a little higher than they can afford. You hearing that, Trumpster? Who votes mostly? Old people. Who, generally speaking, you think would vote for the Republicans. Not in 2020 they didn't. I'm not sure about 2024, frankly. But basically, white people voted for the Republicans hand over fist. I think it's like 80-20 for men, and then like 53-47 for women. All right, a lot of those people are older because whites are older population than the rest of America as a whole. These are your base, man. This is your base. So why are they saying their spending is up more than they can afford? Well, 1 in 3 said they saved the right amount. 17% they saved more than what they needed, but half said they saved less than what was needed for retirement. Why? 59% of retirees said they have 3 months of emergency savings, down from 69% in 2022. Yet 1 in 3, 36% have experienced unexpected spending needs since their retirement. So we know what's going on here. It's the inflation amounts, dude. It's the cost of living. Trump, you got to be on this like white on rice, dude. This should be your number one focus. Look, I get, immigration. That's one. I'm not saying these things are mutually exclusive. But man, if you can't get the cost of living down, people are going to be hell to pay. That's just a fact, man. Now, we forget that Nixon won re-election in 72. Inflation was kicking in, not nearly as bad as it was in the late 70s, though. Carter almost won re-election. I know a lot of people think they didn't, but if you actually looked at the polls right before the election, it looked like Carter and Reagan were neck and neck. In fact, if you look at the polls in January of 1980, Carter was way up, even though high inflation. Now, it turned out he got smoked, don't get me wrong, but we didn't know that going in 1980. But he still had a pretty significant base up until essentially September, November, October, November. The issue here is that this inflation stuff can kill politicians. It can kill them. And I mean figuratively, bots. I'm not saying literally, I mean figuratively, it can kill a politician's aura or whatever. You got to get on this, dude. You got to get on this, Trump. You cannot let the inflation continue. Now, how do you solve that? Well, everything revolves around energy prices, man. Everything. I'm going to show you a couple other videos here in a second. I'm going to talk about energy and how it crushes the hopes and dreams of the American people. And if you have high energy prices, everything else, you got to get the energy prices under control, man. We got to fast track nuclear. We got to fast track nuclear. It's just not dangerous, dude. It's just not. Could it be dangerous? Sure. It's like anything. Driving your car can be dangerous. We got to fast track that 100%. We got to stop the stupid green stuff. The green stuff is horrible. It's destroying places. I'll get into it in another video. You got to get on this, man. That's the only, I mean, literally, the reason you're reelected is because of inflation. It's just number one reason for sure. And you got to get on this like white on rice, like stink on poop. All right, God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see you.